Hi, Namrata, and hello, all the.
Hi.
I'm Sudhanshu. I am the co-founder of Handwalk, and Namrata has also joined. So we'll very shortly start this webinar.
I just want to check if I'm audible and clear.
Yes, you are
Hi.
audible, but I feel I'm getting some echo from somewhere. I'm not understanding where. And Namrata has also joined. Very shortly start this webinar.
I can even hear a lag from somewhere. Like what you just said, I can somewhere hear it being
Yes,
repeated.
yes. I think I've sorted that out. I have sorted that out. So we have
Okay.
people joining in. So first of all, welcome to everybody who has joined. I understand that in the first few minutes there will be people who will be joining in. So on behalf of the entire Antwalk family, I welcome you all. I request you guys to mute your phones so that you don't cause disturbance to others. I will very quickly introduce Antwalk and I will introduce Namrata, and then the floor will be totally for Namrata to take this session. We'll take questions towards the end. You can post any question that you have on the chat box. We will try to collate the questions and take it towards the end. Right. So, first of all, welcome everybody. Just give me a moment. Let me share my screen. And so this the masterclass on digital marketing. This has been brought to you by Antwalk Academy, and Antwalk essentially is a startup based out of Bangalore, and the reason why we exist is because of this continuous reports that come where the more than 50% graduates that graduate from Indian colleges, they are unemployable because there is a certain gap between what academia teaches and what the industry expects, and Antwork is an effort to bridge that and academia and industry gap by bringing the professionals who have the real experience, people who have the experience of being there and doing it on a daily basis, and we try to bring those experts from around the globe on our platform. So, over the last 1 year, we have brought more than 3,000 experts from 30 different countries, over 15 domains who have come and collaborated with us. And, people like Namrata, we had master classes earlier too. So, top 500 brands from across the world, we have people who are coming, collaborating, sharing their experiences. And now we are launching these premium boot camps. The differentiating factor for these boot camps essentially is the way we are delivering it. Of course, it will be delivered by global practicing professionals. So in our digital marketing boot camp, we have people from Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, Indian brands, global brands, and they will be coming and sharing things that they specialize in. Okay. And compared to other courses which are more pre-recorded, our entire course is live. So Saturdays and Sundays we'll have live classes. You will get 10 plus projects in each of the competency that you get. You will get live projects, you will get hands-on experience with tools, and we will, of course, with the vast network of companies and professionals that we have, we will give placement assistance. So we will share you how to first prepare for interviews, and then when you're ready for the interviews, we'll share the resumes with our hiring network. And this is the entire what the entire Antwalk experiential program is about. Coming to today's masterclass, which is around search engine marketing and Google Ads, it will be taken by Namrata. Namrata is currently the analytical lead at Google, and Namrata develops digital marketing solutions for large media and entertainment advisors in India, holding over $160 million in portfolio. She has been an active part of the exponential growth seen in the short form video industry post the TikTok ban. Now we have players like Amex, Takatalk, and Juice, and she has helped in the acquisition and retention in those industries. Over the last 4 years, she has conceptualized strategic opportunities assessments, and she has created scalable and customizable solution to assess the advisors' digital health and identify opportunities based on the industry growth and past performance. In her spare time, she's also driving digital transformation at women in seafood industry, and she's helping them grow, thrive, and accomplish their goal of reducing gender parity in the seafood industry. So, Namrata, very warm welcome to you, and the floor is all yours. I will be a very silent watcher where when people have any questions, I will collate it and I will put to you towards the end. If you want to throw any questions to the audience, then I can collate the responses and I can share that with you. So with this, if you want to share your screen, I will stop sharing mine, and you
Yeah,
can
I
take
think
over the
that will be
control.
better. Yeah, I think that will be better.
Yes, yes. So I have stopped my screen, and now it is totally yours to you can present your screen and you can take it over.
Okay. I can still see your screen presenting, and that's why it's not letting me
Yeah,
share.
I have stopped my sharing now. Yes,
Okay.
now I have.
Yeah, okay, I can do that now. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can. I can. Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction. I mean, here you've already covered most of when it comes to my background. But another thing that I do want to add to this is that while I've been with digital marketing for about 4.5 years, my background is essentially in computer science engineering. So that's where I started from. Gabbled about a little bit in analytics for 2 years before I made the switch here. And it's great to see so many of you sort of join in for this session on a Friday evening, nonetheless. So, welcome everyone. And I hope that if you're new to digital marketing, you sort of pick up your interest in this and you understand more about it. If you are a veteran, I still hope that there are things that you can take away from this. With that, I think I'll just want to set the agenda for today's class so that everyone is aligned with what to expect at the end of the session. Um, I'll start with just generally about Google search. As you know that I work with Google, so that's sort of my forte. We'll talk deeply about SEM and we'll talk about why search and SEM is important for a business. And instead of just sort of giving you knowledge and just giving you theoretical, I thought it makes more sense if I take a specific example from the CPG industry, and then we walk through how can search and SEM sort of help grow a business. And at the end of it, there'll be some time for question and answers. So anything that you have, any questions that you have while we're presenting, please feel free to write it in the chat box. But if there is any specific question on, let's say, the data that I'm presenting and you don't understand what I'm trying to sort of say, then please feel free to stop me and ask the question then. Another request, please. I know we're sort of been doing this for a year now, but if we can keep our phones and emails and everything away on, for at least the next 30 to 40 minutes, that way, both of us will all of us will sort of go back from this learning a lot more. So yeah, a little fun thing. This is how Google search sort of looked like when it started in 1998. If you see the difference and if you sort of compare it to what it looks like now, it's a lot more clunky. It's not as clean as it is right now. When we started off, of course, we were not monetizing it yet, so there were no ads. The search algorithms were not so good. There were no image searches to begin with. There were no voice searches to begin with. And this is how Google search looked like in 1998. And this is what Google search looks like right now. Today, we get about 3 billion plus searches every day. And this data is even, it's a little old. So they'll, I mean, the latest, if I look at 2021, this will be a lot more. And about 20 billion sites are crawled on a daily basis. So that is the level and that is the scale that Google search is sort of operating at today. And in the last few days, we are seeing a lot of searches sort of coming in from on YouTube as well. So while Google search still remains the big king, a lot of people now directly go on YouTube for searching things. Another thing to understand is that the consumer behavior is constantly changing, right? The 15% of Google searches every day are absolutely new, something which people have not been searching the day before or a week before. And I'll just want to sort of emphasize on this for you to understand that the vast amount of searches, the new searches that are happening on every day. So for a marketer who's, let's say, working on SEM, it's impossible to predict what the person tomorrow is going to be searching like. These are some of the examples of searches which at one point of time, were completely new. Another thing is voice searches are changing the way consumers look for information, right? Voice searches are in India, in fact, not just in India, this is a bigger phenomenon. If you look at anyone who is in the older age group or the younger demographic, is definitely using voice searches a lot more because they find it convenient to use. Another thing that is very specific and reason why Google has a lot of focus on the India market as well is the number of regional searches increasing are a lot more. So people searching in Hindi, in Tamil, in Telugu, in Marathi, etc., are increasing on a day-by-day basis. And for those of you who are aware with, let's say, Google Ads, would know that Google on a very frequent basis, every quarterly, is now supporting a lot more Indian languages. Just this quarter, we've started supporting Punjabi as well. Prior to this, we started giving support to Kannada and Gujarati. So there are a lot more these smaller languages that are now our systems are sort of recognizing, and you're able to specifically reach out to folks who speak in this language. And if I look at sort of search from a business point of view, right, and from, let's say, a CPG brand point of view, this is what I was talking about. In the olden days, we were looking at online interactions and the digital community as a point of transaction. So a couple of years ago, brands were looking at digital just for that last stage of the entire, let's say, the marketing journey, where a person is coming and doing a transaction. But today, digital influence is a lot more and a lot bigger. It starts right from influence, right? Let's say before a person is even thinking about buying something, right? Even before, or let's say the person has, sort of made up a mind that this is something that I want to purchase, whether it's a beauty product or whether it's an electronic product or whether it's even, let's say, a car. And in the beauty industry, especially, digital is playing a lot more, is playing a lot more influence in even showcasing newer products to the community. So let's say I don't even know I need a certain product and I see an ad about it, I read about it online, and then I decide this is something I need. So the digital marketing community is playing a big relevance when it comes to being influenced in the entire marketing journey. There was this survey which essentially happened, which Google sort of did with Deloitte a couple of years ago. And what it says is that, and the results from the survey essentially say that 40% of people consider 3+ products when they're actually still in the researching phase, right? So they are considering 3+ products. They browse, they research while they're in their shopping journey. About 75% considered 2 products as they researched in their shopping journey. And what's interesting from this is the last metric, which essentially is saying that 43% people used search to be inspired, browse, or research. And this is definite, and this is way more than they were using any other digital media, and including any retailer website. So you understand, so you can see from this that how important digital marketing and how important digital sources are playing when it comes to the shopping journey of an individual. And the flip side to this is, so this data is on the left side is from like 2012 to 16. The actual global revenue for top CPG clients was shrinking. So from a 7.7%, it was shrinking to a 0.7%, which is a huge drop. But during the same period, the searches for these specific CPG products was increasing tremendously. So there were 75% more people searching for soft drinks. There were 110% more people searching for lipsticks and lip glosses, and 165% more people searching for, let's say, condiments and dressing. So what essentially is happening here is the brands were not realizing that while their revenue is sort of decreasing, there are a lot more people who are actually interested in buying these exact products, but these brands are just not available on digital media for them. These numbers and this sort of still holds true, right? So if you look at big CPG clients in India, for example, an HUL or a Nestle, while they're definitely present on the digital media, the percentage of the total marketing budget which is on digital is very minuscule compared to how much they spend offline. And their searches are increasing day by day. Like even after COVID, there were certain categories which definitely saw a bigger increase than the others, like the cleaning category, for example. And that's when they really realized that how important online can be to sort of bridge this gap and directly reach out to their consumers. So the opportunity here is definitely huge. So what value will search bring for a CPG brand? So if a CPG brand comes to you tomorrow and they're interested in sort of increasing their overall, acquisitions, and they're new to digital, how important is search in this entire landscape is what we'll understand. So the data shows that people who are shopping in this aisle first, actually shop online first. So before they even go to a supermarket and are looking at products, they are online researching about it, and actively or passively, right? And there are numerous points of influence in the consumer's journey before they actually get to a store and purchase a product. If I break it down by different categories in, let's say, a CPG industry, right? From health, grocery, and beauty contribute about 51%. Influences about 51% of sales. So this is how much a digital media is influencing a sale in each category. This is what the slide is essentially talking about. And the reason why I have specifically highlighted grocery and beauty in blue here is that the assumption in the market generally is that when it comes to grocery, people have made up their mind, and they know this is what they want. And even if digital is influencing it, it's very low in consideration. But that's actually not true. Surveys show that 51% digital influences 51% of sales in groceries as well. Beauty, as we know, is very, very big. Social media especially plays a big role in impacting beauty sales. Certain industries like electronics, the influence of digital remains much higher, about 69 to 70%. That's also because everyone likes to research about these products first. And the reason this has even grown in the last few years is the ease of mobile, right? Like everyone around us has a mobile phone in their hand today. And after Geo, the data prices are really, really cheap. So it's very easy for someone to just do a quick search online, find out about the product, find out the reviews, and then make a decision. And the same thing can actually be seen in our actual search data. So while I said that grocery, 51% of those sales are influenced by digital media, you can see that specific searches, right? And you can go and check this data on Google Trends as well. That's something which is available to everyone offline. If you see searches for Pringles, for snack ideas, for potato chips, for where to buy a specific thing, have been increasing year on year. Out of the 51% that digital is influencing a grocery sale, about 30% of it is simply on the mobile phone. So and hence it becomes, and I'll tell you why this is very important, right? Like if I'm a CPG marketer, I need to understand that most of my sales are coming from mobile phone. So whether it's my website or whether it's a retail partner that I'm sort of tying up with, if I am creating, let's say, a simple search ad, I need to make sure that these things are suited for the smaller screen as well. I need to make sure that they're mobile friendly. If there are certain assets that I'm creating, right? Like if I'm advertising on YouTube, and you'll see on YouTube a lot of these beauty brands, a lot of these grocery brands advertise. I need to make sure my assets are created for a mobile phone as well, because it's a much smaller screen. And in most cases, we are watching it from a patchy data connection. So I can't have it too long. And we'll talk about those things later as we go into the bootcamp as well, on how to sort of use these things. But it's important to understand also where my user is coming from. Now, the value of search essentially is what happens after the click, right? Like if I take a simple example of Pringles, and we saw the searches were increasing year on year. Someone is searching for Pringles, I've sort of showed in my ad. Now, what happens, and the value of search comes from what happens after the click. So anyone who's searched for something and is then coming to a website or the retail website spends a lot more time, is a lot more engaged with the content of that website. And that means that it's an easier push for us to get that person from the consideration to an actual conversion. A typical CPG consumer journey starts from an inspiration, where someone is still looking for ideas or a solution, to research, narrowing down their options in learning, then to validating, seeking opinions that I have found this, I am read about this, do others feel the same way about it, to actual purchasing, where can I buy it, how much is it for, and actually buying it. And lastly, reconsidering, either sharing opinions or experiences about it. Now, Google and Google products and digital marketing, and let's say if I talk about digital marketing overall, can help you in each of these. And specifically, if we talk about Google advertising products, can also help you in each of these consumer journey. So if you are a digital marketer and let's say a brand is coming to you, it's first important to understand where in this consumer journey their goal lies, right? What are they looking for from you? And then basis that, we devise a strategy which sort of works for them. There's some research, and I said like the research which we did with Deloitte, which essentially tells us that uh, Google plays a critical role in all of these specific journeys, like I told you about, but especially more so in inspiration, research, and purchase phase. So these three phases, especially Google search, plays a very critical role. And our search data reinforces that. Basically, 90% of searches that happen in the CPG industry happen for the inspiration and the research stage. So most of the searches, if you actually see pertaining to a CPG brand or a product, is where people are still seeking for inspiration and research. And about 10% is for a purchase. Now, this gap is much more stark in this industry. If we start looking at this data, let's say for a e-commerce, or for let's say an automotive or an electronics industry, the data will be slightly different. And even though 10% is, even though just 10% searches which are actually on purchase, it's important to understand that these searches are from people who are very interested in buying, right? They are the ones who are looking to make a conversion right then and now. So we definitely cannot exclude this group of people from our overall strategy. While we definitely make sure that we are there as a touch point for those 90% which are still seeking inspiration and research, but the 10% is where our ROI is going to essentially come from. And these are just the number of searches that were happening, I think back in, this is 2018 data, number of searches that are happening in inspiration research phase versus, let's say, the purchase phase. And there is more data which sort of even reinforces this, right? So the two lines here that you see, the blue line essentially is potato chip searches, and we're still taking the example of Pringles. So number of people who are, let's say, searching for potato chips, that's the blue line. The yellow line is actual chip sales. So if you see, every time that I see a spike in potato chip searches, the very next week, there is a spike in chip sales. So what this essentially is telling us, that there is a correlation between what people are searching for and what they end up purchasing just within a week. And this was again based on the research that was sort of carried out, and it's an external research. But this sort of very strongly tells you that Google search plays a very, very important role in influencing sales and in as short a period of time as within a week. Another interesting thing is sort of if you want to understand how a person who, let's say, how the sales or how much a person spends after they have searched for a product versus they are directly going to, let's say, going and making the purchase. So we're comparing two groups of people, someone who's done a Google search before they're going and purchasing the product and someone who's not done a Google search. How much money are both these groups going to spend? So about people who have done a Google search on average spend 25% more. They will spend 87% more if after a Google search, they have visited the retailer website. And by retailer website, I mean something like an Amazon.com, right? Let's say I'm searching for, and I'll keep the chip sales examples as going. So I've searched for chips. I see Amazon's ad. I go to Amazon. So I will spend 87% more versus someone who's not done a Google search. And they spend 118% more if they visited the actual brand website. So now this is very important for a very important insight for a CPG marketer. What it essentially is telling them that instead of taking them to a retailer website, if I take them to my website, they will spend a lot more money. And the reason for this is essentially if they go to a retailer website, there will be a lot more options from my competition as well. And the person may, let's say, change their mind and actually end up in buying something else. But if I take them to my website, which shows them the entire plethora of products that I have to offer in this category, they are more engaged with me as a brand. They're connecting with me as a brand much more. And hence, they will spend more money there. So that's about what I had essentially on how Google search sort of helps a specific brand or helps a CPG brand client's entire journey. Now, for those of you who are completely new to, let's say, search or digital marketing, I kind of wanted to just have an overview and understand how a Google search engine result page looks like and what are the different segments of parts of it that we should actually focus on, right? This is the Google search, the search keyword where we type in the bar. The first 2 or 3 slots where we see a small ad at the side is basically all the paid search marketing results. Below that, the organic or the SEO results come in. So that's a difference between SEM and SEO. And on the right-hand side, we generally have a knowledge graph. Now, in case we are searching for something which is a product, like let's say shoes, so you also have shopping ads which kind of come before the search ads appear. And Google search essentially can help you, and we spoke about from a CPG, consumer journey point of view. But if I talk about generally any brand or any business point of view, the main goals that they have would either be generating leads, driving online sales, driving offline sales, or just increasing awareness. And search can play a big part in all of these, as long as we ensure that we are following what are the best practices when it comes to digital marketing, what are the best practices when it comes to Google Ads and Google AdWords. So essentially, from here, I'll take a sort of a segue into what Antwork actually has to offer. And how you will learn a lot more in depth about something that we've covered briefly in detail till now. So the entire program is essentially a 16-week course where you have 12 weeks of core knowledge which is being imparted to you, followed by 4 weeks of soft skills, which includes mentoring, CV prep, etc. There are 3 classes per week, which are just for 2 hours each. So you'll have 1 class on a Saturday and 2 classes on a Sunday. So you'll have experts like myself come in, who come with different sort of, experience. Like I am more experienced when it comes to Google AdWords, but let's say someone who does Instagram or LinkedIn a lot more will sort of take those parts of things for you. There'll be certain pre-reads given to you, which is in terms of videos which you can watch. And then the experts sort of take you through a class and teach you a lot more in depth about everything. There will be projects which are given to you and assignments as well, so that you can test that whatever you're learning, you understand it. You can understand also if this is all theoretical knowledge, but if I have to actually come on practice or on a practical aspect, how does this actually sort of translate into that? Because it's very important to understand that, right? Only then will you be ready to take up a role in this industry. And if we just talk about the digital marketing experiential program, this is what the structure looks like. So there are different islands which have been created, and the Antwork team has done a brilliant job in making sure that everything that you would possibly need to know from a marketing or digital marketing point of view gets covered. So whether it's fundamentals of marketing, understanding, marketing overall in general, to how market research is done, content marketing, to SEO, search engine optimization, making sure that your brands are, making sure that advertisers' SEO is on point. From social media to paid marketing, and paid marketing can be both Google and otherwise, to analytic tools, automation, finally how the consumer funnel journey is, and understanding, deep diving into that entire analytics funnel and understanding decisions to be taken, not taken, email newsletter marketing, measurement, which is again very, very important, how to build strategies across different platforms and sectors, because you have so many options, right? Like if there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's emails, there's newsletters, there's Google, how to do it, how to do what. So all of this essentially gets covered, and there are different people who will be covering parts of this. Everyone who's an expert or a champion and has been doing these for a couple of years, to sort of give you specific examples, to give you genuine problems that we've worked on in the past as well. So this is the Antwork program, and you can kind of sign up and apply today. That's the link there. I'm not sure if the team will be sharing this PPT with you. But they can definitely share the link with you later on.
Yes.
But I think that's all that I had. So any questions?
So we are open to questions. So thank you, Namrata, so much for your thoughts on ACM and paid marketing, and also for introducing the bootcamp to our viewers. So both the PPT and the recorded video will be available on the Antwork event section in case you want to access it later on. So this event is also available on YouTube, so you guys can definitely catch it there as well. So if we have questions, we are open to questions. Now, the question that had come was from Saurabh. He wants to understand what's the difference between CPG and FMCG, because FMCG is possibly the term that we are more familiar with.
Actually, it's one and the same thing. It's just used interchangeably. That's what I meant when I was talking about CPG. Yeah. So consumer and packaged goods is the same as FMCG.
Right. Okay. There is a question from Mayank. What certificate will you provide after the completion of the course? So you will get an Antwork course, Antwork certificate, and not just the certificate, but what you will get is a very exhaustive skill rating framework, where all the different competencies that will be taught to you over the course, you will be rated and ranked by these experts on all these multiple competencies. So it will not just be a certification, but it will be a resume upgrade that you will get along with it, right? So you will definitely get the certificate of the Antwork Digital Marketing Experiential Program. Along with that, you will get the skills that you have developed over the 16-week program, which you will be able to showcase. So you have to understand this, that it's not just the skills that you have, it is also how do you signal those skills to the recruiters, and we will help you kind of do that in a more structured manner, right? The other question is from Anmol. How Antwork digital marketing course is different from the courses provided by other educational platforms, right? So part of it I can take, part of it Namta was just explaining now. So the 3-4 differentiators, the key differentiators that we have on more. The first is, we always felt that, we have the team of Antwork comes from some of the best colleges across India and abroad as well. And what we felt was that despite coming from the best schools, best colleges, when you enter the professional world, the first realization into a professional job is that the professional world is very different. Because so there is a difference, there is a gap between what academia teaches and what the professional world expects from you. And that is where we brought these practicing professionals. Just like Namrata works on Google Ads and other things, and she works at Google. Similarly, we have people who work on SEO, people who work on social media strategies. So these people carry their real experiences into the boot camp. So these boot camps will not be a theoretical boot camp. It will be immersive. It will be experiential, where what they have learned over their course, over their professional journeys, they will share with you. You will also get a hands-on, this kind of this group of experts in one single course. Possibly you will not get anywhere. It's just specifically to talk about the Antwork digital marketing course. We have experts from Amazon, we have experts from Google, we have experts from Netflix. So we have a really stellar, what do you say, group of experts who will be teaching you. Right. Apart from that, all the different tools that you use in digital marketing, and you will use tools like Semrush and other tools that you use, you will get a hands-on right there. So if you talk about social media marketing, we will actually have you run Facebook campaigns, right? So that kind of a hands-on exercise we will give you. Placement, there is also job placement assistance. Yes, we will. So as I told you in the beginning of the course, we have what do you say, our own hiring partners. So we have partners, we have professionals who are working with us. We have different companies that are tying with us. So we have more than 100 hiring partners with us. So we will definitely help you share your resume, upgrade your resume, share it with the hiring network that we have. We will also train you on all the interview skills that are required. Apart from that, specifically for digital marketing is not just where you learn skills to get a job. You might want to learn skills to propel your career. You might be a freelancer who wants to build his or her own so that is one thing. And secondly, there is also there are entrepreneurs who want to use digital marketing to leverage whatever efforts they're putting on different social media to grow their business. All these things you will definitely get. And Satpal, see, it is essentially we are giving you access. These master classes essentially are these. We have professionals who are coming. You're getting access to these professionals. This is your a kind of a, what do you say, it is giving you a sneak peek into the kind of classes it will have. Antwork essentially has more than 10,000 free courses, if you could check on antwork.com, given by these professionals. We, on digital marketing alone, we have more than 250 experts, which is available totally free of cost. Antwork started a year back. It has been a benevolent cause where it has started as a movement. This is the first time we are trying to launch a premium course. But over the last 1 year, we have had more than 3,000 experts from 30 plus countries who have come, shared their knowledge for free. All of that in a very structured format is available on antwork.com, right? Okay. So see, what essentially this was a webinar on how it is going to look like. It is not essentially, what do you say, it is not the classes that will happen in the actual boot camp. The preparations are definitely going on with this. We are working with experts. What I can definitely show you is, okay, if you can give me a moment, right? So just, all right. Let me share my screen and show it to you. Okay. So what I wanted to share with you guys is, this is how the boot camp is going to look like. So this is what you will get in the actual boot camp. So we'll have the foundation of marketing, you will get a project right in the first week. So the way the boot camp will be, there will be weekend classes, there will be classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Through the week, you will get some pre-readings. You will be given assignments in the beginning of the week, which you will have to work throughout the week, and then you will have to submit the assignments on which you will be graded. So see, we have foundations of marketing, market research, content marketing. All of these are laced with projects. Even when we have done this, we have more things like uh, we have the actual soft skills that are essential for uh, digital marketers. Things like communication, things like how do you work in a team, uh, interview prep, right from how do you prepare your CV and your cover letter, to how do you prepare for your personal interviews. All these courses will be given to you. These digital marketing tools like BuzzSumo, analytics, all of this you will get a very hands-on experience on. So this will be a really immersive boot camp, and we will launch it in the first week of May. So if people who are interested, we have shared the bootcamp registration links in the chat box, so you can register for the event from there. Okay. So yeah, Satpal, you can definitely check it out. I recommend you guys to also check out the content that we have already created. So the content is available in a very structured manner on antwork.com. So let me kind of give you a preview of the kind of content that we have as well. So if you go to Antwork Free Content Hub on digital marketing, you can see we already have a lot of free courses. This will give you a fairly good idea of what we already have. We have courses on all of these that we have done. There are some free videos that are available, and we have experts from all the global brands, and all of these are kind of structured in a playlist manner where you can go inside. You can go inside each of them, where you have you have videos, you have some pre-reads that are available. So all of these are available to you. So before you go into the boot camp, you have a fairly good idea of what kind of things that are being going to be taught inside the boot camp. Okay. So do we have any more questions? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Satpal. Thank you, everybody, all who had joined. Thanks again, Namrata, for sharing your thoughts on this masterclass, and thanks for all who have joined. We have another masterclass on cybersecurity coming right up, and we'll definitely have more masterclasses in the coming weeks as we lead to the bootcamp. So keep following our events page. So keep following Antwork events, where you will get the idea of the upcoming masterclasses as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.